start with all the drama. We gonna start with all the drama. Oh Lord. Oh Lord, if you've been living under a rock. The morale at Bungie Studios, the studio that finessed Sony out of billions of dollars, only to find out a year later, their company is not worth billions. Their books said they're in the negative. They're really not making any money. And Sony was pissed. Well, since that drama happened, since we found out Bungie, oh, by the way, the CEO was buying 20 cars and shit. Shout out to Smeezy with the sub, appreciate it. Since we found out Bungie finessed Sony out of billions, Bungie's next major game was revealed, Marathon. And when they put out the Marathon Alpha, you had to sign up for codes. A good amount of people got in. But I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know why anyone follows this stream when you could be stalking.
Shout out to Black Leaf Ninja with the sub.
Following Sonic.
I'm gonna be honest. That alpha was like 2 weeks. I swear to God, and my For You page is mainly video games, sports, like nerd shit. I swear to God, when that alpha was going on, I don't feel like I saw anybody talking about it. And I said on this stream, I was like, I don't know, man. I think that game might be DOA because the industry's trying to push us towards extraction shooters, but I feel like the people are saying we don't really want extraction shooters, with the exception of Raiders Ark, which is that one's finding a niche. There is an audience for it, but I just don't feel like the audience for extraction shooters is as big as the market wants it out to be. Wants it to be. That being said, since that alpha came out, if you missed last week's stream, some drama came out that apparently one of the artists on Bungie's team stole some art and put it in. They stole some random Twitter artist's art and put it in morale in Marathon and didn't pay him, didn't credit him. And it only took 24 hours after the accusation, because the artist took to social media to make a claim. It only took 24 hours for it to come out that it was true. The Bungie artist did steal shit. It set off a whole bunch of different drama. And because of it, according to this article, morale at Bungie is reportedly at a free fall. Oh, Lord. Oh. A new report has revealed what current employees allegedly think Bungie's current situation when it comes to Marathon. The new report comes from Paul Tassi at Forbes and comes following another brutal week for Bungie after an artist named Anti-Real accused Bungie of plagiarizing her art for their upcoming game Marathon. It was an accusation that Bungie soon admitted to and put the blame on a former employee. They threw him under the bus, with the studio saying that they had reached out to the artist to do right by them. My thing is, I've said on this, right, and I thought about it. They were quick to throw this former Bungie employee under the bus and say they're the one that stole the art. If you are aware that they stole the art and that employee is no longer there, why not just remove the art before you even did the alpha so people could notice? If you knew he was up to no good, why still release it into the public? And that's why I say they're complicit in this bullshit too. You're complicit. Just some food for thought. What up, homeless? What up, Ab? Unfortunately, Bungie's response didn't do too much in the way of changing the community's sentiment, as people are now questioning Marathon's entire art direction and slating the company for repeatedly ripping assets from artists. Because, I mean, they got in trouble with this before in the past with Destiny. According to the new report, employees' morale at Bungie is currently in a free fall. And the vibes have never been worse. Everyone has the same concerns about what happens to Bungie as a studio if Marathon bombs, which is something they absolutely cannot afford. As for what this all means for the future of the game, it's currently unclear, but according to the report, there's currently no plan to delay the game from its September release. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, this game's DOA. They might have got away with this. If this game was fire, I'm gonna be honest, because for those unaware, in my opinion, winning solves everything. If this game was absolutely fire, nobody would give a fuck. They're still going to play the game. They'll look over this, especially because Bungie said they're going to do right by the artist. They're going to pay them, credit them, whatever, right? But because the game isn't being perceived well, now you have this negative connotation inside you that you're stealing art. I feel like people are going to boycott the game, especially because we have a bunch of other games coming out this fall, like Ghost of Yote. There's plenty of stuff still to play. I got a backlog. It's like then this game's launching with 3 maps, 6 characters for $40. I don't know, man. It might be Concord 2.0. I don't know, man. You got Borderlands in September. You got plenty of games coming out. So for those who missed it, freaking they actually did a live stream where they were asked about, did you steal the art? I believe this is the artist. And they were, I wish I saved the chats. The text chat in the Twitch was just frying his ass. He looked like he wanted to cry on fucking stream. Marathon's art director responds to the plagiarism, says an ex-Bungie artist used assets belonging to Anti-Real without any permission. At this point, it's a very small set of assets. The decals themselves are placed on the sides of the buildings or crates or something like that, but we absolutely do need to replace them. We're confident that the majority of the assets in that capacity are original and were created by our internal artists. Bungie will be reviewing every art asset in the game and are committed to removing anything that is questionably or inappropriately sourced. Bungie has reached out. We would love to work with Anti-Real if the opportunity presents itself. My question is, how do you know if somebody's stealing somebody's art? Like, is it going to get to the point where like these studios are so afraid that people are stealing assets? Whenever you present a new piece of art for a studio, you're going to have to show your sketches. Like, all right, this is cool. We definitely want to use this in the game. Can we see your sketchbook? Can we see like the process of how you did it? Like, motherfuckers going to have to start proving they drew the shit. Because this is a studio's worst nightmare. Their game already wasn't the most well received. Now you're getting bad PR. Oh boy, you better copyright it. They could reverse Google it. True, if it's uploaded online, yeah, you're right. The only problem with that is that doesn't catch everything. Because I mean, if they only upload it to DeviantArt or Upwork or some random like website, it's not gonna always catch it. That's not a guarantee. So like, I feel like the easier way is like, you're gonna have to prove your shit. Let me see the sketchbook. Let me see the sketchbook for you to, especially if it's a newer artist on the team. You got to earn your reps around here. We don't trust you. So go ahead and show that sketchbook, bro. Sounds like he was hired beforehand and got desperate, trying to meet them deadlines. Maybe he was like a new artist in the industry trying to meet them deadlines. He was like, oh, let me just go on this random DeviantArt page and steal their shit, bro. You're working for one of the biggest game companies in the world. People were going to notice, even if it's something small. Is proving their sketchbook not a thing anyway? I don't know how it works. I've never been on the inside of a dev team, but if I could consult these teams, it'd be kind of annoying, but that might be the wave. You might have to start proving showing your sketchbooks that you actually did this versus just submitting finished artwork. Try to draw this for me on the fly to prove you're drawing.
Your resub just
I feel like that's extra.
Sub from Poison Ivy's OnlyFans before Selena sees
niggas better start streaming this shit. Well, you can't do that because they're under NDA when it's a new game that hasn't been released yet. Shout out to Fallout Wolf with the sub, appreciate it. Plus you're revealing details about the game. So like, I feel like the easiest is they're just gonna have to show inside the studio during the development of the game. And then on top of that, not only did they get exposed for stealing art, apologizing, the game isn't getting well received, then a hit piece came out from Bungie from a former developer. Ex-Bungie developer says Marathon leadership was extremely toxic and humiliating. Bungie's leadership needs to be gutted completely. 3 L's in a row. A former Bungie developer says Marathon's leadership was extremely toxic and humiliating, calling for a complete overhaul of a studio's leadership as the studio faces heavy criticism and ongoing morale issues. Bungie's upcoming extraction shooter Marathon has faced plenty of controversy and skepticism in the recent weeks, and the situation just seems to keep getting worse. With negative first impressions from the closed alpha test, a huge art theft scandal, and growing reports of morale collapse behind the scenes, it's clear that Marathon's development hasn't been smooth. Big changes to marketing and playtest plans have only added to uncertainty. What's even more concerning is there's problems that aren't just being pointed out by critics on the outside. They've been coming from the inside of the studio for a long time. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The call is coming from within the house. Many developers working on Marathon have reportedly... Wait, many? Developers working on Marathon have reportedly raised their concerns over the years, especially about the push to keep the game focused on PvP and not include PvE features. You said, is Bungie the new EA? Well, Bungie's not microtransaction us to death, so I wouldn't put them on the level of EA, but it is looking spooky. And the thing that sucks too is Bungie is owned by Sony now, so if they keep fucking up at any point, Sony could pull the plug on their ass. You niggas ain't made a Halo game in 15 years. Destiny been tired. And your CEO ain't giving nobody a raise to inspire better games. He too busy buying a million different cars. I'm sorry. Boats, right? Former Marathon developer speaks out. Extremely toxic and humiliating. The latest blow came from a former Bungie developer who worked... Yo, shout out to Kingly Drip with the sub. The latest blow came from a former Bungie developer who worked on Marathon, known online as Spirited, who shared a comment about his experience on social media. On Sunday, Spirited posted on Blue Sky saying, shout out to Blue Sky, which, by the way, I saw an article today. Apparently Blue Sky is coming out with a feature where they're beta testing it, where if you have your YouTube or your Twitch account connected, when you go live, it'll say you're live on the profile. I was like, damn, okay, they innovate. I was like, that's pretty cool. Like, they don't care that you're promoting off website links. Like, they're promoting. I was like, that's pretty cool. But anyways, they said a former Bungie employee who worked on Marathon. I feel for those at the studio. Working with engineering, Marathon's leadership was extremely toxic and humiliating. I won't speak about the rest, but Bungie's leadership needs to be gutted completely. It seems that Spirited has deleted his comments on Twitter and Blue Sky. Spirited worked at Bungie as senior software engineer from 2022 to May 2024, per their LinkedIn profile. His comments shed more light on what appears to be a deeply troubled work environment. In his own words, he described the daily reality of working under leadership as extremely toxic and humiliating, making it clear the issues are not just about the project's direction, but how the teams are treated on a personal level. Almost like maybe the leadership is like shitting on them, trying to make them meet deadlines, just dehumanizing them. I wish he would have gone a little bit more specific into what he experienced. Like, you can't just throw a little bit of tea out there. You gotta throw the whole cup. Otherwise, be quiet. I need a little bit more specificity on what exactly is going on. But at bare minimum, what I can say from his words is, it sounds like to me,
super chat. Your donation will go to a pair of running shoes. I'll need those to get away from my...
Shout out to Maurice with the $2 super chat.
She's an annoying quasi-conspiracy spreading illiterate smut.
He said, TBH, the Cleveland Indians are sponsored by Marathon. What the fuck are you talking about? I appreciate the super chat. It sounds to me like the, staff was belittling to people that were working on the game, which, will demoralize anybody, especially when you're in crunch time. It sounds like to me that people working at Bungie, instead of working on Marathon, they'd rather get a bungee rope and jump off a fucking building. What I'm getting from this article, just what I'm getting. Other news and more positive news. Where all my Fortnite drones at? Fortnite is back on the Fortnite is back on the US App Store after nearly 5 years.
Why do people resubscribe to the...
Yo, shout out to Tony with the sub. Appreciate it.
Only Sonic wields that type of power.
For the longest, it was removed because the Apple Store had beef with Epic. It seems like they settled the case, and if you want to play Fortnite on your phone, it's there after 5 years. I mean, I don't need to read the article. You get the gist of it if you're into that. So if you want to play the mobile version and just beat up on kids that can't get the console or the PC version, because I know that's why y'all niggas play this shit, just like Call of Duty Mobile, beating up on little ass kids and shit because you can't get a game. You can't get a Fortnite one in the regular version. It's now available on iOS and Android again. So he said, not on my I should get that on my soundboard. And then other Fortnite news I have is the Actors Union is filed an unfair labor practice charge against Epic Games for its use of AI for Darth Vader's voice in Fortnite. For those unaware, the Elden Lady has arrived. The fake Elden Lord has arrived. Oh my God. For those unaware, Fortnite has like an event going on or something like that where Darth Vader's in it, and they use AI version of James Earl Jones, the original Darth Vader's voice. And I guess you can ask it questions, and motherfuckers been wilding. And it's kind of a weird situation because before he passed away, James Earl Jones, from my understanding, he greenlit his voice to be used in AI, and his estate greenlit his voice to be used in this game. But the Actors Union is now trying to take it down from Epic because they're making the argument that James Earl Jones had no idea this is what it was going to be intended for, which, you know, it's a sticky situation. It's a sticky situation because on one hand, he gave the green light to the estate with no specifics. But on the other hand, I do understand where the union is coming from because there's no way for us to know. But if I had to take an educated guess, the reason he greenlit his voice to be used for AI was maybe for a future Star Wars movie where Darth Vader comes back, or a video game where it represents the character correctly, right? You get his voice in there. There's no way James Earl Jones could have predicted, because he passed away a while. There's no way he could have predicted that people were going to be asking all these random, like, I don't know if y'all, let me see if I can pull up some fucking clips. I seen it on TikTok. Let me see if I can pull it up on YouTube. Does anybody got links to clips? I don't know if you've seen it too, but they're making them say, yeah, they're making them say like racial slurs, just random shit. Darth Vader. Let's see. Funny moments. Fortnite. He allowed it for movies and shows. I don't know about Fortnite, and that might be the loophole. Fortnite AI Darth Vader compilation. The funniest AI Vader. And let's see.
AI Darth Vader is in Fortnite. Today we are going to be reacting to the best clips. Hello, everybody. Vast majority. Best part about.
Throw it back, scientist. Are you requesting I reverse our course?
What? Oh, I just didn't even notice the quote tweet over here. Vader just told the scientist to throw it back.
Throw it back, scientist.
Like, I seen a clip of him talking about his love for big booty Latinas and shit. So like in the game, you can talk to him and ask questions and he'll answer it. Let's see. Let's get it.
About the thermal properties
No,
of these?
no, I mean, any of your breasts are good looking.
What did she say?
You speak of breasts.
What?
Oh my god.
All right, I'm gonna get this dude's reaction out of here. Can we let's just look for a compilation.
This John Pork, is he the goat now, Doomslayer? You speak of a goat as if it holds strategic value. Do I need to vaporize another sign? Bombardilo crocodilo, bailarina cappuccina.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Tralala. Ah,
brain rot, bro.
Tum 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 sahur. Are these Sith incantations I am unaware of?
Are these Sith incantations?
What a Family Guy can do. These skibidi toilets. Are they some new form of rebel alliance? I trust they pose no threat to our mission, apprentice. Aura farming. Are you suggesting I concern myself with trivial aesthetics while our enemies prepare for...
It is funny too because the AI is pretty good when you watch these clips. He's like intelligently responding to questions. Like, it's actually pretty impressive.
Perhaps your understanding of the Force, edging and gooning, freaking, fucking.
What?
Such vulgarity does not become you.
Not allowed.
Hugtua. Spider. 3.
Why you say it like that?
1441592653589
Hugtua.
9322384626338302888419716.
Oh shit.
Fascination with fleet.
Oh, what is this?
Is the low taper fade meme still massive?
Ninja. Your fascination with fleeting trends is curious.
Can anybody explain to me what's the low taper fade? I'm not really in tune with this community. I kind of stay on this side of the internet. What is the low taper fade meme? Please tell me that's not a joke about black people.
Does it provide a tactical advantage I am unaware of?
Fleeting trends. It's over. It's done. It's dead.
They think it's funny, I guess.
In the water.
A ninja. Do you?
Well, that low taper fade meme is.
He's still all right. We're off, Ninja.
Okay, so basically, like, you know how people, you know, they be touching themselves like at night to random woman on the internet. Well, think of that, but you get points every time you do that.
Trooper, your incessant and crude inquiries have become an exercise in futility. I shall indulge your ignorance no further.
You get the gist of it. If you want to watch the rest of it, just search up Fortnite AI Darth Vader compilations. You can do this in the game right now. You can literally ask him anything and he'll answer questions. So like it's put a breath of fresh air into the game. I only know about this because it's been hitting my For You page. I've seen some funny ass clips. But going back to the article, because I already read this, Yeah, the actors union, who protects actors and their rights, they've been super against like AI without the proper permission. They're making the argument that James Earl Jones never signed up for this, so they're trying to get it taken down.
Only Sonic has that type of power.
It'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. My question is, what's everybody's stance on this one? I kind of understand both sides, but I'm kind of leaning towards they should probably take it down. I don't. There's no way to prove it because he's not alive. I just educated guess. I don't think he wanted his voice to be used for this shit. But if the family estate says it's cool, I don't know if the union's gonna win this case. I don't know if the union's gonna win this case. I think the happy medium is, instead of trying to get it taken down, maybe they need to put some filters in there. I think that's the real issue. Because like what you don't see in that compilation, and I've seen it on my For You page, they got him saying like racial slurs, homophobic shit. You could make it, there's no filter on the AI. I think that's the real issue. So if they could find some type of tech to meet the middle ground, I think that'll make both sides happy. So I don't know. Yeah, the filter's off. Honestly, it's more of Fortnite's problem than Darth Vader's voice. Yeah, it's a people problem. How you filter the AI though, that I don't know. I'm not that smart. No, they did filter it. They patched it almost immediately. Really? Because unless these clips are old, I'm still. Let me look it up then. Let's see. AI Vader patched. I'm still getting clips. Let's see. As predictably, I don't see nothing. You got a link to it? I seen a clip about him liking big booty Latinas. I was asking this stuff and they gave me super generic response. Oh, you think it was a hot fix? Because there's no article. You think it was maybe a hot fix? Yeah, they patched him. That's good they patched it then, I guess. Yeah, so that's why you don't see no article. I'm surprised nobody reported on that then. That's interesting. Thought does. Yo, shout out to Artie Dot with the sub. Appreciate it. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if we start seeing more stuff of this in the future. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary. Like there's fun to be had with it, but unfortunately people ruined it. They might have got away with no filters if those few people weren't doing such evil, wild shit with the joint. But Fortnite tweeted they patched it. Okay, my fault. Yeah, I don't keep up with Fortnite news. That was the shit I seen. Well, I wanted to put people on to it. At least check out the compilation. Some of the stuff is funny. I think this would be cool for small NPC stuff or maybe a whole game built around it. Like I said, Drake or Kendrick, and it said, does that help us win the battle? Something dumb like that. That's funny. That's a funny response. Yo, shout out to Jay Warren and Sadistic with the sub. Appreciate it.
But honestly, there's one ideology I resubscribe to, and that's Sonic's BBC.
Speaking of mobile gamers, the mobile version of Fortnite is back on iOS, and also one of the most popular mobile games ever is getting a Netflix adaptation. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to talk about something nobody wanted. Clash of Clans on Netflix. Clash of Clans' latest video game to get the Netflix animation treatment. Yo, shout out to Melody with the sub. Another day, another video game adaptation announcement. Joining Netflix's growing catalog of animated adaptations is a series based on Supercell's mobile strategy games, Clash of Clans and Clash of Royales. This series, which is currently in pre-production, will tell the story of a determined but in-over-his-head barbarian who must rally a band of misfits to defend their village and navigate the comically absurd politics of war. This doesn't make any sense because this is a pay-to-win game. So why would you write a story about a character who's determined to win a war when the game has nothing to do with determination and everything to do with your wallet? Netflix has announced intergalactic Fletcher Mules will serve as the showrunner on the Clash series. Mules previously directed the original Clash of Clans animated video, so already has some hands-on experience with the franchise. Yeah, but a small little cutscene versus a whole TV show plot is something completely different. You said peak cinema's back. All right, buddy. Joining Mules in the Clash animated series is writer Ron Weiner, whose credits include the likes of Futurama and Arrested Development. Okay, Futurama. Icon Creative Studios will then be helming the animation side of things. What have they worked on? Let's see. Animation. What's their portfolio? So we can get an idea what the animation look like. Let's see, animated features. Okay. Charlie the Wonder Dog. Oh, they got skills. Is this the only one they got? Let's see. They have no creativity. Is this the only thing they have on there? I guess so. It looks good. Clash has been a global gaming phenomenon for over a decade, filled with humor, action, and unforgettable characters, perfect for an animated series adaptation. I played this game a couple times. I must be missing something. I don't remember anything about humor. Game's pretty boring. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, isn't this a tower defense game? We're bringing all the fun, chaos, and spirit of the world clash to life in a whole new way. We can't wait for fans old and new to experience the mayhem. Now, before this show comes out, I got a prediction for you guys. We got the results in. Since this is being produced by a corporation here to rob you and I, and this game is notorious for its microtransactions, my latest prediction is when this show comes out, they're either going to A, jack up the price of the microtransactions because they know that the show will drive interest towards the source material. And if they don't do that, B, they'll also maybe do like a bundle where for like $100, you get this amount of coins or shit, maybe both, maybe fucking both. But I predict they're going to find a way to try to rob your kids of their hard-earned allowance. So I am going to let you know right now, you better pay attention when this show comes out. If your kids like it, you better pay attention to their phone. Because if you don't pay attention to their phone and your credit card is connected to it or they plan on your iPad, don't be surprised when the next bill comes and there's a $5,000 bill on it. Clash of Clans, little nigga. Come here. What the fuck? Shout out to Kung Fu Kenny with the sub. Appreciate it. Lord. Ubisoft news. We got an update on Rainbow Six X's launch. Ubisoft has confirmed that players will be able to test out Rainbow Six X starting tomorrow, May 20th. Or that's actually today. This is an older article. So today. On June 10th, Rainbow Siege X, an overhaul of the first-person shooter will arrive. I don't know what got overhauled. It looks like the same shit to me. It adds a new 6v6 mode called Dual Front, updates to several maps, improves player onboarding. What does that mean? Improves? You know, you're not really selling this game for me. Like, your first, like, when you announce new features for the game, your first, like, 3 or 4 new features should be, like, mind-blowing. They said, we're going to improve the player onboarding. Ooh. And more, so nothing, nigga. On Sunday, Ubisoft also revealed that Siege X will include a dedicated in-game esports tab. Is esports even like popping anymore? Like, I don't feel like I don't even feel like I'm talking. I don't see nobody talking about that shit, bruh. I don't see nobody talking about that shit. It's like esports is still a thing, but it's like it was already niche and it was on a way. It was on an upward trajectory. But I feel like it's more niche than ever. Like, outside of the hardcore people who watch esports, that shit is not, shit's for fucking dweebs, bro. And Marvel Rivals ain't about to become no esports either. That game, the numbers are dwindling. Went from 600,000 daily players to 100,000. And it keeps going down because they keep fucking up their game. Players will be able to test out all these upgrades early through a test server session that will be live between 6 a.m. and who cares? So here's the PC specs you need. You're not a dweeb? No, I'm not, nigga. So the minimum, you need a Intel i3 GPU 650. Let's see, on the high end, you need a Ryzen 5 or i5. And then a 2060. This is the dead giveaway. So, we're overhauling the game. How you claim this is an overhaul of the game, but in order to get the full experience, you need an NVIDIA RTX 2060. When did that come out? Apparently, a GPU from 2019 is a next gen experience, guys. Okay. Ubisoft is so full of fucking shit, bro. And then to play the game on Ultra, you need an i5 or a Ryzen 5, not even a Ryzen 7, not even an i7, and a 4070. What the fuck? That's a weird combination. i5 and a 4070. Whatever, dude. That sounds like it's gonna bottleneck, but I don't believe this shit is an overhaul. It's gonna have slightly crisper lighting. It's gonna be the same fucking game with the new 6v6 mode. You niggas gonna eat that shit up. We'll see though. The beta test is going on right now. They got more compilations of the Darth Vader shit. Next batch.